I, like many other kids of the 2000s, were victimized by My Little Pony, and I know what you might be saying, Sky, what do you mean by victimized by My Little Pony? I mean, My Little Pony was like crack for 12-year-olds and 29-year-olds who really liked DeviantArt. So I took a step back and went, wow, I don't think I've ever watched any of the original movies. I mean, I had some of the original toys growing up, but I could not for the life of me remember anything that happened prior to Friendship is Magic. So I went, dang it, now I gotta watch all of them so I can tell you about it. In the late 1970s to early 1980s, an illustrator named Bonnie Zackrell is dreaming about owning a pony. She's working for greeting card companies, she's doing freelance gigs, and then she lands a spot at Hasbro's research and design department around 1980. At the time, Hasbro was the same company in charge of G.I. Joe and Transformers, so she wanted to make a toy horse that kids could brush and play with and actually care about. The earliest incarnation of these toys are actually My Pretty Pony, which is a 10-inch hard plastic figure that could wiggle its ears, wink, and stuff like that. The toy had some modest success at the time, but Hasbro sensed it could push these toys way further. So they slimmed things down, made them more colorful, and gave them cute names like Cotton Candy and Butterscotch, and then launched the smaller My Little Pony line in 1982. The patent was approved for My Little Pony in 1983. Bada bing, bada boom, My Little Pony was born. Once the toy started proving itself, Hasbro saw dollar signs, obviously, and they immediately went, wait, what if? Wait for it, cartoons. Through the mid-1980s, we got animated specials, TV shows, and finally a theatrical film in 1986 was produced along to support the brand. From the retro fantasy adventures of the 80s to the hyperpink early 2000s toy commercial era, and even to the Friendship is Magic cultural explosion in the 2010s, My Little Pony has lived 9 lives like a horse-cat hybrid. Go on for affinity, don't steal someone's persona. You gotta make sure that's not taken.
I'm sorry. Show off, hot dog.
Winter has just ended, where we're met with a cutesy banger of a song to prepare for the spring festival. Lickety Split is practicing dancing for this recital thing, but bro, I'm gonna preface this and say these ponies are fucking mean. Spike hits her with a, did you make up that dance? You better unmake it.
You better unmake it.
That's so mean. Anyways, far away in the volcano of gloom, the witchy villain Haida and her daughters Rika and Draggle, who remind me of Shrieky and Beastly from Care Bears. So they're frustrated because the ponies get to live happily while their home is miserable. I don't know, they could have just like got some candles from Bath and Body Works, or like a hammock or something, maybe a poster. I feel like that would spruce the place up rather than the elimination of ponies and their native land. So Haida decides to destroy Ponyland by creating the Smooze. The Smooze is a purple, unstoppable slime capable of covering everything in its path. It's like John Hopkins pouring 2,000 gallons of oil into the Baltimore Harbor, but like Orpal. Haida sends Rika and Draggle to go mess with the ponies because she thinks that they're incompetent. She freaks out and sings a little ditty about it as if it isn't a result of her poor parenting, but I digress. So it's time for the baby pony dancers to perform on stage. Everybody goes on, Lickety Split does her dance from earlier instead of the rehearsed one, knocks down everyone, and ruins the entire performance. The crowd is laughing at the ponies, so they decide to close the curtains and they start dogging on Lickety Split. They're mean as fuck. They're saying the fit is trash, her dance sucked, she's selfish, she starts crying and they call her a hot dog.
Hot dog.
So Lickety Split runs away and sings a song about how everyone hates her. She goes home and packs a bag, throws Spike at a wall, and then they leave and jump off a cliff. So Haida gets pissed because the girlies came back and they really didn't do much of anything, so then she has a narcissistic breakdown about it, and she ends up getting the girls to go leave to get ingredients for her evil plan. Haida brews her deadly Smooze and unleashes it down the volcano toward Dream Valley. Shady decides that she's gonna leave and look for Lickety Split and Spike, while the other ponies go back to warn the rest of Dream Valley about the Smooze and to prepare. So Spike and Lickety Split get ambushed by the Smooze and have to hide in a cave, because Lickety Split decided that she got called a hot dog and wanted to jump off a cliff and get stuck in a ravine. Right when Magic Star and Fizzy get back, they make all the ponies and animals go into the castle to be safe. Fizzy is covered in Smooze and is taking it out on every pony around her. You can't wash off the Smooze with water, so Wind Whistler and North Star go to the human part of the valley and they're like, hello little children, we need the rainbow of light or we're all gonna die.
Megan, time is of the essence.
So Megan, the older little girl, is like, hell yeah, here's my necklace. Whose goddamn white baby is that? Even the 6-year-olds, Danny and Molly, are like, we ride at dawn for the ponies. Then we get the best song in this entire movie.
Something bad is coming down. Have you heard the news?
Listen up.
The smooze floods everything. It covers the castle and all the ponies panic. They attempt to fight back, but then they quickly realize that nothing can stop the smooze. There was an entire musical number about it, by the way. Were you there? So the smooze not only destroys the landscape, but also curses anyone it touches, making them grumpy and mean-spirited. So that's why Fizzy was being a bitch earlier.
No, I'm stuck with it, big mouth.
Megan got there and then released the rainbow of light from her necklace, and it didn't do anything. Then they go on a quest to find the flutter ponies. We're only 36 minutes into this hour-and-a-half movie. So the flutter ponies are a reclusive but very powerful group, said to be the only ones who could defeat the smooze. So while the ponies and children are looking for the flutter ponies, the girlies are trying to go get the flume that they forgot when creating the smooze, and they get their ass beat, but they got it. So they go to the woods to find the Paradise Estate from this little guy named Mr. Moochick, who gives them a map to find the flutter ponies. Meanwhile, Lickety Split and Spike are running around through this cave, trying to get out. They find the Grundles, which,
Oh my God, bro.
they are a underground race of goblin people, and their king is Danny DeVito. They explain to Lickety Split and Spike that the witches killed their entire race off with smooze, and there was only 5 of them left. And so it's kind of like the bad ending of Danganronpa 1. The Grundles keep trying to explain to Lickety Split what smooze is, but she's just not getting it, and then she ends up seeing it because they're trapped in the cave from the smooze, and they can't get out. So the kids and the ponies find the flutter ponies after almost dying like 6 different times, and painstakingly have to convince their queen, Rose Dust, to intervene so everyone in Ponyland doesn't die. First she was like, damn, that's crazy. What's that got to do with me, though? But Lickety Split shows up with the Grundles, and the flutter ponies eventually agree because the Grundles are like, hey, our whole race of people are extinct because of the smooze. So you should fucking do something about it. And then Rose Dust is like, ah, shit, I mean, if it affects me, then yeah, I guess. So the witches show up to the Paradise Estate with the smooze to kill all the ponies and animals left in Dream Valley. But the flutter ponies use their utter flutter power to push back and completely destroy the smooze. The movie closes with a return to peace, showing themes of teamwork, bravery, and the magic of friendship. This movie was so good, but it never ended. We were introducing new characters up until the last 20 minutes of the thing. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10.
It's a no.
It's a no, darling.
So we're starting off here in Ponyville during the holiday season, where ponies are joyfully preparing for Christmas. During the scariest 2 minutes and 32 seconds of my life, I watched this under the influence, I will say, and these ponies scared the fuck out of me. The way that they're animated, it looks like they're staring directly into the camera, and I was like, they're looking at me, and they know I'm inebriated. Hi.
Hello.
Mascot horror aside, for the ponies, it's a festive time centered around the Here Comes Christmas candy cane. It's a glowing tree topper that's like a beacon for Santa Claus to find Ponyville. Our main character here is Minty. She's a clumsy, green, cute pony who's hyperfixated on socks, and she is a desperate perfectionist. Low-key, she could just have undiagnosed OCD. Cotton Candy, Thistle Whistle, Pinkie Pie, point me to the psychiatrist cutie-marked pony. ASAP, Rocky even. Minty decides she's gonna make a small, helpful adjustment to the candy cane, thinking it will be even more beautiful. So she accidentally knocks it from its perch on top of the tree, and it fell and shattered into a million pieces. Like, it was kind of comical how bad it shattered. Like, it's irreparable. And it's her fault. So Minty was running around town, freaking out, trying to get help. She even goes to Pinkie Pie, going, please, help me! And Pinkie's like, whatever you fucked up, we'll figure it out after Christmas. So Minty realizes that she pretty much ruined Christmas for everyone, and without the candy cane, Santa won't be able to find Ponyville. So Minty goes home and cries, and then sings a song about how much she loves socks, and turns it into a big musical number. Maybe I misdiagnosed her. I'm not a psychiatrist pony, but I'm seeing a lot of familiar traits here. Then she breaks into multiple of her friends' homes and leaves socks on their mantles. Minty tries to fix her mistake because she's so overwhelmed with guilt. She breaks into Pinkie Pie's house and then gets caught and finally tells her, hey, I broke the Christmas candy cane.
Oh, Minty! Whoa, Minty! Minty!
So obviously, the correct thing to do is steal a hot air balloon and fly to the North Pole to personally guide Santa to Ponyville. Pinkie Pie tries to rally the other ponies to go find her before something goes wrong. Minty then asks Thistle Whistle to come with her, and she was like, in a balloon? With you? So Thistle Whistle watches her leave, and Pinkie's like, are you gonna go catch her? Minty drifts off into the sky, her balloon crashes into the town Christmas tree. So all the other ponies are looking for the candy cane because she knocked over the Christmas tree, and then Pinkie's like, yeah, no, she also broke the candy cane, like it's obliterated, it's all over the place. And everyone's like, bro, what the fuck? So after everyone gets a little upset, Pinkie's like, dude, we have to go save Minty. And then Rainbow Dash is like, is she in danger though? So Thistle Whistle flew up and chased after Minty, and she's getting lost in the clouds trying to find her. So every pony is going to look for Minty and Thistle Whistle at this point. Minty makes it to the North Pole in like 5 minutes, but then immediately blows over it and gets lost in the clouds above it. Thistle Whistle was also in the same clouds, so she grabs her and saves Minty, but then gets trapped in the straps under the balloon, and they get stuck on a branch over a cliff. Thistle Whistle is hanging below the balloon over the cliff, and then all the ponies from Ponyville leave in a fleet to save them. They arrive just in time before Minty splats and explodes on the ground with Thistle Whistle. All the ponies pull up to the North Pole and realize Santa already left, but all the ponies are like, Minty, we do love you even though you low-key ruined Christmas. But we have the magic of friendship, and that's all that truly matters. Twilight, this is the wrong generation. So then they all glow bright pink with their friendship stink. Santa arrives successfully, he brought everyone presents, and Minty gives each pony a pair of socks as a heartfelt gift, turning her mistake into something more meaningful. Minty was also added to the foreign terrorist organization list.
Yeah, what's your favorite color? Do you like rainbow berry juice or milk with your cookies? Do you play hopscotch? And what is that smell?
It's springtime in Ponyville, so the little bug ponies called the Breezies are helping flowers grow and get things all cute and pretty for spring in breezy blossom with a song. Then we pan to a meeting of ponies where they're preparing for their annual Princess Promenade, a grand parade that celebrates the blooming season with flowers, dancing, and decorations. Wisteria, who's a kind pony who likes to garden, is in charge of organizing the festival to make sure everything is perfect. We're hit with another song as they start gardening and making parade floats, which none of these songs, aside from the smooths thus far, has really been memorable, which is surprising because My Little Pony songs have been dog walking me for years. But anyways, while planting flowers, Wisteria and Pinkie Pie accidentally discover a hidden underground chamber underneath a root or like a vine thing that they dug out of the garden. They fall into the pit of despair, and then they find a pretty flower being held by a dragon. Can you guess his name? Spike. Who the hell is this? Because that is not Spike, that's Chuck, and he's forklift certified. He stinks, and he's been sleeping for 1,000 years, then helps the girlies get out of the cave, which conveniently was right under the castle. So they sneak Spike past all of the ponies, and then they go back to Daffy Daisy's house, because they need to make sure he's chill and nonchalant, and also give him a bath, because he's got a stink cloud radius on him. So Wisteria goes on stage to announce the start of the Spring Festival, and also to introduce everyone to Spike. So he drops this lore that apparently he's been sleeping, waiting to be awakened to guard, protect, and teach the new princess. And the reason that they've never had a princess in Ponyville is because he's been asleep for 1,000 years. Duh. Who is this new princess? Well, Wisteria was the one who woke him up, so Wisteria is the new princess of Ponyville. So then everyone's like, oh my god, you're a princess! And then they're like, wait, we live in a commune. We're communists. So Spike insists on teaching Wisteria the royal ways, like etiquette, appearances, giving orders type shit. Wisteria hates her new position and hates her job. She was conflicted. She wanted to stay humble. She lives and dies by Kendrick. But the other ponies now look to her for leadership and follow her every command. Preparations for the promenade continue, and the ponies try to adapt to their new princess, even as Wisteria struggles with the idea of hierarchy and their unusually communist equestrian community. So here comes the Princess Promenade. Wisteria realizes that being a princess doesn't mean standing above her friends, but standing alongside them. She gives a really heartfelt speech telling every pony that they are a princess in their own way, honoring their individuality and contributions. Spike acknowledges her wisdom and agrees that leadership comes in many forms. Then all the ponies participate in the promenade together, with Wisteria embracing her role as princess and her personal identity. We get the themes of leadership, humility, and community serving as a moral lesson wrapped in bright colors and mediocre musical numbers.
How do I get back to Unicornia? We don't know.
Ponyville? We don't know her, bitch. This is Unicornia. It's a very vibrant kingdom ruled by unicorn ponies while they are preparing for the Rainbow Ceremony. Lots of ceremonies and festivals with Generation 3. The Rainbow Ceremony is an annual magical event that creates the first rainbow of spring. The ceremony depends on the Rainbow of Light, which can only be activated by a special unicorn known as the Rainbow Princess. This year, that honor falls on Rarity, which is a filly, still like a baby unicorn. She's baby, but also a princess. Rarity is nervous about fulfilling her duties as princess and also creating the first rainbow of the season for the Rainbow Ceremony. Rarity has to learn to wield the wand, do the magic princess twirl, and summon the crystal carriage, but she ain't even listening because she playing with her worm. Who up playing with a worm? She struggles with the expectations that are being put on her because she just wants to have fun rather than rehearse her duties. The other unicorns are outside washing the rainbow carriage and they're like, yo, where's Rarity at? And then they go inside and they see her throwing the wand around and playing. This causes all the ponies to freak out, and then they witness her Infinity War poof out of existence, which obviously makes them freak out more because they gotta do the Rainbow Ceremony by the end of the day. So Rarity accidentally got teleported out of Unicornia and into Ponyville. So she's confused, but she's like eating this world up because she's never experienced it before. She befriends multiple ponies, including Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Minty, who want to help her find her way back home. But back in Unicornia, the unicorns are scrambling to prepare the ceremony without their princess, so they have to leave Unicornia to find Rarity, or else Rarity's probably not going to find her way home by herself. So time is ticking, y'all. If Rarity doesn't return in time, the first rainbow of the season won't appear, and the magical cycle will be a shit show, and everyone will explode into at least 9 pieces. Also, no rainbows or color for the whole year. So the Breezies pull up to Ponyville with Rarity, and everyone is in a cupcake shop, and Rarity just walks in and eats a piece of cake without asking, and Rainbow Dash is like, damn, you hungry, huh? So Rarity just eats the rest of the cake by herself, and then explains to everyone that she's actually the one who makes the rainbows, and she's from Unicornia. She asks everyone for help to get back home, and Minty asks if Rarity wants to try her roller skates, and then she does a whole musical number about not wanting any responsibilities and wanting to have fun, almost hitting multiple ponies at high speed in the process and almost dying like 4 times. So the ponies get Rarity to calm down, and then they go to Spike and they're like, Unicorn, help. Spike explains to them the rainbow lore and then pulls out a map of every castle in the area so they can start the trek to Unicornia. Rarity keeps running off and then she falls off a cliff. I don't know what it is about Generation 3 and jumping off cliffs, but Rarity falls off a cliff and almost goes over a waterfall. Then after saving her, we get a whole musical number about how Rarity misses home, and then the ponies realize that Rainbow Dash's mane is losing all of its color. So the other unicorns find Rarity and the ponies and they're like, oh my god, thank God. Rarity summons the crystal carriage by herself, and everyone, including the ponies, go back to Unicornia. As they're running inside, Ponyville and Unicornia start losing their color. This is their 9/11. The ceremony doesn't work at first, but they try again after Rarity realizes the importance of responsibility and the balance between her fun and her duty to Unicornia. She realizes that embracing her role doesn't mean giving up who she is, and her new friends celebrate the rainbow together. Oh, I keep forgetting to rate them. This is a fuck.
Oh, okay, gotta go. I gotta go now. I mean, bye.
This movie is structured into 3 interwoven stories set in Ponyville and Unicornia. And there's also 3 separate ones. So like, it is a lot. So firstly, we're starting in Unicornia, getting ready for the Rainbow Lights party, and Lily Lightly was just dubbed the princess of all that twinkles and glows. Her horn starts glowing, and honestly, I would also be freaking out if I were her, because what the fuck did you do to my horn? Why is it glowing? It's never done this before. Bitch, you give me an STD? Then we pan up into the air where Pinkie Pie and Minty are in a hot air balloon trying to get to Unicornia, but Minty forgot her map, and Pinkie Pie is like bruh. So then we pan back over to Unicornia with Lily Lightly still very embarrassed about her glowing horn, and we get a song from Rarity about getting the giggles while they're decorating. Lily gets a giggle out of the song, which causes her horn to start glowing again. Can you guess what happens? She gets embarrassed and runs away again. Then we pan back up to the air with Minty and Pinky still in the hot air balloon and still in fact lost and have no idea where they are. Okay, then we go back to Unicornia and Rarity and Brights Brightly are in the woods searching for Lily Lightly. They also get lost looking for her. And then we pan back to the unicorns talking shit about Lily Lightly's horn glowing. So Charilie was like, low-key, we probably embarrassed her because we were laughing at her horn glowing. Everyone's like, damn, that's crazy. How do we even make her feel welcomed after like laughing in her face and making her embarrassed and like run away? That's crazy. Then we pan back to Lily Lightly. There's a lot of hopping and bopping around in this movie. So Lily is walking through the forest having a mid-pony crisis. She meets a lightning bug and then starts trauma dumping that her horn glows whenever she giggles. The lightning bug is like, but I glow all the time though. And Lily's like, that's different. I'm a unicorn and you're a bug. I'm embarrassed. So she sings a song about being embarrassed and thinking her friends think she's weird, and then the lightning bug is like, no girl, you're so cool and special and unique and you should shine. Please don't turn into glue. Guess what? We're back in the hot air balloon with Minty and Pinky. They land and they are lost, but they find Rarity and Brights Brightly, who are also lost, so they can all be lost together. So they're walking through the woods and then they find Lily and they run up on her and her horn is glowing and they're like, we love your freaky horn, girl. It makes you so unique and special. They all sing a reprise of Lily's song from earlier, go back to Unicornia. Is the movie over yet? No, it's only been 15 minutes. So they all go back to Unicornia for the Rainbow Lights party. Rarity assures Lily that no one's gonna make fun of her horn. So they walk into the castle and it's pitch black for some reason. Then multiple unicorns come out of the darkness with lights on their horn saying that Lily's horn is beautiful. And then Lily says the only way to truly shine is to be yourself. I'm gonna summarize what happens in Two for the Sky and Positively Pink because I wanna move on. So I'm gonna be lickety split about it and not the pony. Two for the Sky is about ponies pulling up for story club time. So Storybell is reading the ponies a story about two ponies who are practically twins and best friends, but they both wanted to fly. They were earth ponies, so they couldn't fly. Starlight and Heartbright are those ponies, and they want wings to fly together. They kept asking for advice from the Breezies. They also try to build wings by themselves, but they fall apart. They make little propeller hats, and then they sleep together, which... best friends, huh? Yeah, bitch. History hates lovers. So when they go to bed together, they dream about flying through the clouds with their magical wings. That's it. With Positively Pink, Minty thinks it's Pinkie Pie's birthday, so she gathers all of Ponyville together to prepare for a surprise party. Puzzlement distracts Pinky with a scavenger hunt, which allows Minty and the other ponies to set up the party without her seeing it. It is, in fact, a surprise, and when Pinky pulls up, she's like, hey, my birthday's tomorrow. And everyone's like, what? What? So to avoid wasting the effort of her friends, she decides, hey, we can celebrate today and tomorrow. That's the episode. I wouldn't consider that a movie. I would consider that a triple episode special on one DVD. So I'm gonna give that a 2, also because I got annoyed about it.
How's our star?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I wasn't talking about you, Star Song.
So this is the art style switch up that we get right before Friendship is Magic. This is technically Generation 3.5, which is why they look like that. I honestly think that this style is cute, and it's less scary than Generation 3. I also think that this is Hasbro's way of like planting seeds for their change to Generation 4's switch up in style. I mean, you have to think every single time that Hasbro has even slightly strayed away from the look from Gen 1, they don't perform well. So Generation 3 only barely strayed away from Generation 1's art style, so it makes sense that Hasbro would like to test the new art style to make sure that kids actually enjoyed it. It's another another festive time of year in Ponyville, which may sound a little familiar because we can tell from all the other movies, it's always a festive time of year in Ponyville. Going along with what happened in the other movies, there's a festival or party of some kind that we have to save. In this movie, it's the Winter Wish Festival. This festival is a yearly event where every pony makes one wish on a magical star named Twinkle Wish. The star is assigned to a pony each year to keep safe because she's sleeping in this box. Everyone is in the town center of Ponyville talking about making decorations for the Christmas tree so that way it looks pretty when they put the twinkle star on top of it. Everyone gets excited and chooses partners to make decorations with and leaves. Other than Charilie. They all left Charilie behind. Fuck Charilie. Pack watch. Scootaloo is making her ornament, and she's like, oh my god, we forgot my sister. We? Girl, you forgot your sister. Don't put me into this. I just work here. So everyone pulls up on Charilie at her house, making a pinecone ornament alone. So everyone takes off a piece from their own ornament to put on Charilie's ornament. Scootaloo is like, nah, Sweetie Belle, we ain't helping my sister with that fugly pinecone ornament. She ends up giving in and gives her the button from the front of the ornament to put on hers. Then, Charilie gets announced the winner of the ornament competition, and she's even like, it was the brown button that did it, so Scootaloo is pissed. So Mayor Flitterflutter pulls up and is like, I have arrived. Charilie, you need to watch the twinkle star. It's in this box. Do not open it. She's sleeping. If you open it, she won't be sleeping anymore and she won't be able to make our wishes. So they're outside and Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle are trying to look at the twinkle star and the box that's on this table. Nobody's letting them in. So they get on the other side of the fence and jump on a trampoline. Scootaloo jumps over the fence and is like, I want to look at it. So Charilie rips the box out of Scootaloo's hooves and is like, why would you do that? And they wake up the wishing star because she chucked the fucking box on the ground. And it wakes up the Twinkle Wish star from her cutie sleep. Sound the alarms, y'all. The sky goes dark and the wishing star gets stolen by a dragon. Charilie is laying into Scootaloo and Pinky is like, we gotta go to Willy Nilly Mountain and save the star. ASAP Rocky. Then Mayor Flitterflutter pulls up and she's like, hey girlies, how's the twinkle star that I left with you for literally 15 minutes? And everyone's like, ah, you know, sleeping. So Pinkie Pie, Charilie, Rainbow Dash, Star Dancer, and Tula-Rula all go on a rescue trip up to the mountain. Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle were told that they need to stay home, and guilt is like eating her alive, understandably. So the ponies sleep in the woods, and first thing in the morning, they make the trek up the mountain. They make it to a cave, and then they meet the dragon, and her name is Whimsy Weatherby. She's literally just a girly pop fashionista who wants friends. That's why she stole the twinkle star, because she knew that the ponies would come and try and rescue the twinkle star, and they would be her friend then. So Whimsy controls the weather on the mountain and doesn't understand that the twinkle star is like a living, breathing being and not a toy with batteries. So she low-key has just been torturing the twinkle star and not letting her sleep for over 24 hours. So they all sing a song to Whimsy explaining how to make friends, how it works, and how to do it, but the ponies will only agree to be Whimsy's friends if they give them the twinkle star back. Whimsy was not letting that slide, so she kicks every pony out, and then they go back to Ponyville empty-handed because they wanted to be fake and only wanted the twinkle star. Charilie explains to everyone that she doesn't have the wishing star, and she took the blame for Scootaloo. But then Scootaloo was like, nah, don't blame it all on Charilie. And then the mayor was like, you ruined the festival, you ruined everyone's wishes, you lied to me like a bitch, but I'm glad Charilie and Scootaloo put their sibling beef aside, I guess. So Whimsy decides to pull up and be like, I will give you the twinkle star back, I really just want to be your friend, but you need to think the twinkle star has had to deal with no sleep for now 48 hours, so when they put her on the top of the tree, of course, she falls asleep and doesn't grant any wishes. But Pinky was like, guys, our wish was granted. We all have each other, and Whimsy has friends now. Then Sweetie Belle was like, I know Whimsy just kind of made it snow, and that was my wish, but low-key, I wished that it would be pink snow. Then the Twinkle Wish star momentarily wakes up to grant Sweetie Belle's wish, making all of the snow pink. Twinkle Wish, please, my only request is a cookout tray and a Dream Bearer Red Bull. Please, please, Twinkle Wish. This movie brought the Generation 3 era to a close with themes of empathy, forgiveness, and holiday magic, but no cookout tray, so I'm gonna rate it a 6. The sun is going down, so it's gonna start getting a little darker here. Sorry, I don't control the rising of the sun. Who am I, fucking Princess Celestia? Hi, jump scare. So all the rest of my footage after Rainbow Rocks got corrupted. So I have to re-record all of it, and that was around 4.5 hours worth of footage. So we're gonna do this into 2 parts because I did promise this video on Sunday the 26th. So you have another video to look forward to next Sunday because I will have it out by then and re-recorded and edited. I'm really sorry again, but also you have something to look forward to next week. You guys should subscribe so you can see and get notified of the video when it goes up. Okay, bye.